and welcome. This is Dr. Suzanne. Today I would like to talk about the danger of marijuana, especially linked to heart attack in the youth. Here in Colorado, marijuana is legalized, meaning that a lot of little kids, and I see a lot of my patients' population, those high school students who use marijuana on a daily basis. Some of them come because they are depressed, the grades are low, they have nightmares, they don't understand, some have anxiety. It completely changes their academic trajectory. It also changes the behavior. But let's first talk about what marijuana is. Cannabis is actually the plant. It's called Cannabis sativa, and it's part of the flower, the leaves, the stems, and the seeds. Now, marijuana is what carries the active ingredient, which is the TCH, tetrahydrocannabinol. Marijuana is then the thing you take that will give you the side effects. And those side effects will depend on how often you smoke, your age, your health history, basically, and can give you altered sense of what's happening around you, euphoria, impaired memory. I have a lot of patients who can remember a lot of things, disorientation, confusion, mood changes. Sometimes it makes you sleepy, dizziness, issues with coordination, and you can be slow, like slurred speech. You just, talking super slow. You can have delusion, psychosis. It gives a lot of dry mouth. I had a patient who used to have emesis, like she could throw up nonstop for days to the point where she had to go to the hospital to get IV fluids. But I would like to talk about the side effects in the heart. And I talk about it because recently here, I was in a flight coming back from Baltimore. A patient was having a heart attack and I was helping him. Initially, I thought it was motion sickness or anxiety. All I could do once I discovered what was happening was to pray, bind the spirit of death, bind the spirit of addictions, and bind the spirit of marijuana. Marijuana is a spirit. You have to understand that every time you touch any drug or alcohol, you are opening a wide door, a gate to demonic spirits. And once you invite them, they don't just come alone. They come with a whole group of friends. So if marijuana comes because it's marijuana that you're smoking, because you're opening up your brain, your soul, your mind to all these demonic spirits that are just hovering around your head. Remember, Satan is like a roaring lion seeking whom to devour. So those spirits are there just waiting for you to open the door, right? And they can enter and take over your body. Anxiety is a spirit. Depression is a spirit. Confusion is a spirit. But in this particular patient or passenger, I would say, the spirit of death was on him. He was going to die in that plane. Now, why am I saying that? The look on his face was abnormal. The way he was acting was abnormal, but medically he was having symptoms of someone going through a heart attack. He was having cold sweats. He was having a pressure, a squeezing of his heart. He was having sensation of doom, like he's going to die. He's going to die. It was a chaos. But through prayer, because by spiritual authority, you can take authority over any spirit, depending on the grace God places on your life. And I know I have the grace for healing, right? So once I identified what was happening and I prayed for him, he calmed down. He was calmer. He was more coherent. And I was the first one surprised by his look. after the events. When the demons manifest, they have a look. That's not the point. What I would like to say is that every time you smoke marijuana, you are opening a wider gate to demonic spirits to take over your body, but you are getting closer to your grave. You must understand that. Scientifically, there have been multiple studies that have shown that patients who smoke marijuana even once a month have a higher risk of heart attack. It has also been shown in meta-analysis, large studies, that users of marijuana have 50% higher risk of heart attack compared to non-users. And this is particularly true in younger people, 40 and younger, right? So you must understand that every choice you make about your health has consequences. In general, the things that will open up your health to spirits are drugs and alcohol. You have to be very careful. Even if medically we tell you that you need to stop it, you can take it, behind it, there is a spiritual reality. You also need to look at your previous generations. Are your parents doing what you are currently doing? Do you know if your grandparents were bound by this same thing? Maybe drunkenness, maybe smoking. If it's the case, you must understand that it's already a generational curse and it has to be broken. Okay? So, please, I beg you, stop smoking marijuana. Start praying. Fast to get those demons out of yourself and find a good church. Start reading your Bible, listen to gospel music, and pray. God is merciful. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye.